So we got some unfortunate news regarding former assistant coach for Creighton University basketball team, Preston Murphy. He has been hit with a 2-year show cause penalty for accepting improper payments, which is a level 1 aggravated violation in the NCAA. So basically what happened here, Nate, was this was uncovered by the FBI during an investigation, and during the bribery investigation that led to the arrest of 4 Division I assistant coaches. A federal indictment in March of 2019 accused Murphy of accepting a $6,000 payment from an undercover FBI agent in a meeting with Christian Dawkins. And if that sounds familiar to you guys, it's because we did a video on Christian Dawkins, and we'll put that in the description below. And Christian Dawkins was actually a good friend of his and one of the people at the center of the FBI probe as well. So during July of 2017, they met in a Las Vegas hotel room, and Murphy allegedly agreed to steer players to Dawkins' management company. And then Murphy ended up resigning in November of 2019. So Murphy's lawyers argued that he returned the money after the meeting. And according to the committee, Murphy lied when he was asked in a school internal questionnaire whether he had accepted any payments from an agent or financial advisor or accepted anything of value to steer players to the advisor or agent. And Murphy ended up checking 2 boxes and it said no. He ended up checking 2 boxes and he said no twice. So, but he later informed head coach Greg McDermott about the meeting, and McDermott then told the athletic director, Bruce Rasmussen, according to the committee, and Rasmussen investigated the incident without informing his compliance department. After Murphy told Rasmussen he returned the money following the meeting. So Rasmussen decided to go against acting on the information until the arrival of the federal indictment, which ended up naming Murphy as one of the guys from 2 years ago, or one of the assistant coaches from 2 years ago. And I do have a quote here from the committee. And this quote right here, it says, and I quote, "The violations largely stem from individuals permitting personal relationships to cloud their judgment and influence their decision-making. Specifically, the assistant coach prioritized loyalty to his friend, the agent, associate, and the athletics director looked past alarming conduct based on his trust in the assistant coach." And I do have a quote actually from Murphy himself, and I'll read it right. It says, and I quote, "I passed the lie detector test and provided the NCAA with proof about what really happened. I did not know about Christian's scheme. The money was never mine. I did not keep any of the money. No one asked me to do anything. I never agreed to do anything, and I never even tried to arrange any sort of meeting or do anything wrong whatsoever. The truth is that I thought I was doing a favor for someone I thought was a friend by saying something that was true, that I have known Christian since he was a child, and to be handed money that belonged to Christian that I handed to him after the meeting. As the decision says, there's no evidence that I kept the money and did not take any action. If I had known what was really going on, I would have never gone to the meeting." And again, Rasmussen, he incurred a level 2 mitigated penalty for his handling of the investigation. And because of that, Nate, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on with this college. You know, a lot of stuff is going to be happening. So basically, punishments that are going to be happening with with Creighton's basketball team, they're not looking too good, Nate. So these punishments, they're going to be included a 2-year probation. The school has self-imposed 1 scholarship to basically be banned or whatever. And overall, Nate, it's not looking good for Creighton University. It's really not. They got a 1% deduction on the budget for the basketball program. So overall, the program really hurt by this. So I'll let you start off first, but before I do, the source for this article is Paula Levine and Myron Medcalf of ESPN. So I'll let you start off first. Your thoughts on Preston Murphy getting a 2-year show cause penalty for his involvement with Christian Dawkins?
Yeah, Amari, I mean, I don't know what to say here because, again, these things happen a lot in NCAA. You know, we've talked about a lot of situations in the NCAA when it comes to like I know this the Louisville one, not the Kentucky one, the Louisville one. There's a situation going on there, which, by the way, we don't have an update on that, but like we mentioned in those videos, if there is, we will let you guys know with the illegal recruitment. There's also been illegal recruitment in I'm trying to think. I think it was Arizona, was it?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was
think Arizona
Arizona.
in one place. Yeah.
Notre
It's
Dame has
rivalries
something
gonna
like
be
that.
crazy.
Notre Dame had something with that. It's just been a lot of cases we've talked about with NCAA teams. This is different, because if I recall correctly, I don't think these ones had an FBI investigation. At least to my current knowledge, I don't recall it. We're talking improper payments, which were accepted, a level 1 aggravated violation, and this got to the point where the FBI got involved. When the FBI gets involved, dude, that's some serious stuff, man. That's some serious stuff. When the FBI gets involved, that's some crazy stuff, man. I honestly don't even know what to say, man. First of all, if you were doing this, man, why would you lie on the questionnaire? Because here's the thing, okay? When you lie on the questionnaire, you're putting yourself in even more trouble. If you had just said yes right then and there, you would have been in trouble still? Absolutely, but it wouldn't have been as bad as this. But because you lied on the questionnaire, now your team's on a 2-year probation. And they're getting other punishments too. And a lot of these people, and shout out to Greg McDermott, he actually told the administrator about this after Preston Murphy told him about what was going on. So shout out to him. He could have, Greg McDermott could have kept his mouth shut and be like, all right, let's sweep this under the rug and just put it past us. He didn't do that. He did what everybody should be doing, and he told administration about that. So shout out to him. You know what I mean? But if you just never lied about that on the questionnaire, you would have never had to tell Greg McDermott, and Greg McDermott never would have had to tell administration. And then the FBI would have never gotten involved, and your team would have never been probated. Because now the entire organization is being punished for this. You know what I mean? Like I don't again, this stuff happens a lot in NCAA. Like I said, we talked about the Arizona situation. There's a few situations going on in the LSU with the former football coach. You look at the Louisville situation. We talked about that a few times, but again, there hasn't really been an update on that. So this stuff happens a lot in college. But when the FBI gets involved, that's just another level, dude. And I feel like if he had never lied on that questionnaire, this would have never gotten this. This would have never went this far. He would have still gotten in trouble, absolutely, without a doubt. What you're doing is far from wrong, beyond wrong. But still, this would have never gotten as far as it did. So honestly, Mario, because of this, now the entire organization has to suffer from it, and that's just you know what I mean? Y'all got to make the right decision when it comes to stuff like this. Don't do this stuff at all, because and a lot of people are like, oh yeah, the team shouldn't be punished for that, and I do agree with that. But when it gets to a situation like this, the league has no choice. You know what I mean? It's not, and I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming the coach. I'm not blaming the players. I'm not doing. But when it comes to things like this, and it gets to this level, the team does end up having to suffer from it. And it's unfortunate. I don't think it should happen, but that's just how they roll. So with that being said, to Creighton, I apologize that they have to suffer a 2-year probation because this guy's an idiot and he wants to lie. But I mean, that being said, Mario, I hope Preston Murphy can learn from this. And with that being said, that's really all I have to say. So I'll pass on to you, Mario.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nate. Well, first of all, it is unfortunate that Creighton has to go through all of these types of things, but I understand it because the NCAA really doesn't have a choice, First of all, there's a lot of people to blame here. First of all, Preston Murphy, he handled this terribly. He really did. He lied on the questionnaire. He ended up passing the lie detector test, actually, but regardless, still overall, he just handled this the wrong way. He should have told them right away he should have told him right away. He told Greg McDermott, and credit to Greg McDermott for telling Rasmussen. But again, Rasmussen is another person to blame because he should have handled this situation better than to just let it go. As soon as he heard something like that, he should have handled it better. He shouldn't have just waited until the FBI investigation occurred. Because of that, now they're going to receive a level 2 mitigation, so it just gets worse for them. But the biggest person to blame for all of this is Christian Dawkins, okay? The way this scheme that he's been having for a very, very long time, paying certain assistant coaches to lure student athletes to his management program. That's not the way to do it, okay? They should be able to pick you as an agent because you're a good agent, not because these assistant coaches were paid to bring you there. That's not the case right there. This is just it's a shame what Christian Dawkins was doing, and he's going to get into a lot of trouble with this. And overall, there's been a lot of bribery regarding NCAA, regarding all these colleges and their involvement with bribery. And it's been getting out of hand lately, and it doesn't matter what penalty you give them because I feel like because they're all work for offices and they're all not in the limelight, I feel like they do all this sneaky stuff behind it. And I mean, look, what's the worst part about this whole situation, Nate, is the fact that he received a $6,000 payment from an undercover FBI agent. Like that's just some dark stuff right there. Like that's just some messy things right there from an undercover FBI agent. That's what he was accused of. So overall, Nate, this is just getting out of hand. It really is. And because of it, Creighton's basketball team is going to have to suffer again a 1% reduction in the men's basketball budget. A 2-year probation. The school self-imposed the loss of a scholarship for the next 2 years. Like, I mean, I can't Creighton basketball team. They're really going to have to suffer through this because of dumb decisions made by Preston Murphy and dumb decisions made by Christian Dawkins. And last but not least, dumb decisions made by Rasmussen. Like this is getting out of hand, mate. It really is. Like, look, if something goes on, report it immediately. Don't wait. Don't decide, hey, we're going to wait till an FBI investigation occurs or concludes or whatever. No. Like, you did this wrong. Those 3 guys right there, Christian Dawkins, Preston Murphy, and Rasmussen, those 3 guys are to blame for the reason why Creighton's basketball team is going to lose a lot this year. It's going to lose a lot of stuff regarding scholarships or regarding a 1% reduction on their basketball program. They're gonna have to suffer because of stupid decisions made within the organization. And it is scary because, again, these things happen behind the scenes where you don't hear about it, and it shouldn't be happening. But overall, to Creighton's basketball team, like the basketball players themselves, I'm sorry that they have to go through this. I wish them the best of luck. As for Preston Murphy, Christian Dawkins, and Rasmussen, shame on them. Shame on them. You should have handled this a lot better. And because of it, now Creighton's basketball team is going to have to suffer.